it's time indeed to begin, and thank you. You are so many to connect on time, and I'm very happy to tell you that this webinar will last 45 minutes, and Professor Elisabeth Paulet from ICN Business School, our partner, will join very soon. I would like also to thank you, Frédéric and Hugo from Business Science Institute, for organizing this webinar. Okay, first of all, I will begin with some technical advice. Then I will introduce the Business Science Institute. Then, yeah, behalf Professor Elisabeth Paulet will present the Sustainable Innovation Management Program in partnership with ICN Business School. And then we will be available to answer all your questions, of course. Some technical advice, first of all. You are so many to be connected now that we are obliged for the good functioning of the webinar to close, to put the microphone on off. And so you can use Q&A function, question and answer function if you have a question to ask. And you can also communicate with us with the chat and ask questions or make comments in the chat. And Frédéric will be very happy to answer your question or to give you specification information about our program. So first of all, I will begin with a few words about the Business Science Institute, and then I will give the floor to my colleague, Professor Elisabeth Paulet from ICN. So some word about Business Science Institute. The Business Science Institute has been created 10 years ago, initially to meet the demand of a manager, experienced manager, generally holding an MBA or the equivalent of an MBA. And this manager, they wanted to take a step back from their managerial experience. They wanted to reflect. They wanted to write a thesis. They wanted to publish a book. They wanted to make conferences. And these people, this experienced manager, they didn't find the good program because traditional PhD does not answer to the demand of manager. And so we had the idea to create Business Science Institute. And Business Science Institute has been created only for this purpose, to initiate, to make available all over the world a DBA, a true DBA for manager. So today, in August 2023, Business Science Institute is an international academic network organization. It means that we have faculty from all over the world, from different university and business school. We are very specialized. We focus only on DBA for manager. We are a non-for-profit organization established 10 years ago. And that's important. I will come back on that point. We are one of the 10 AMBA accredited DBAs in the world. We are accredited since December 2020. So that's very important because for the students, it's a guarantee of quality and serious of our program. Today, we are quite a large DBA program because we are working worldwide. We have more than 235 doctoral students. It is important to notice that the average age of these students is 45, 46. It means they have a lot of experience. We are open all over the world, nearly 60 groups in 11 countries, and our manager, they have 50 nationality, and we teach face-to-face and online. And my colleague, Professor Paulet, will explain how in this group we will teach online. It's important also to say that uh, we organize more than 138 defenses of thesis, and we will have at the end of this at the end of next month of September, plus 30 new defenses of managers coming from China, Australia, United States, Europe, Africa, and everywhere. Business Science Institute, it's today more than 150 professors. 80 of them follow today, are fellows. They follow today, they supervise today thesis. We teach in French, in English, in German, and soon in Spanish, face-to-face and online. One of our characteristic is that we focus on book published by our professor and book published by our alumni, our doctor. A lot of doctors publish their own books after their defense. We have a partnership with the University of Lyon, the Public University of Lyon, and it's a double degree. We deliver our degree, and the university deliver its own degree. And the partnership with ICN is very important because ICN has very well-known competencies in the field of sustainability, sustainable innovation management, and that's why we created together this program. We organize the program, as I said, face-to-face and online, and it's a very challenging, of course, program. And now I give the floor to my colleague, Professor Elisabeth Paulet from ICN.
So I would present you in few words what is ICN. Next slide, if it's possible.
Of course, it's possible.
ICN is a French grande école. That means we form students who actually are devoted to work in businesses, right? We have the triple accreditation, EQUIS, AACSB, and NBI, and we are listed on Financial Times. We have almost now it's a little bit higher, 3,000 students, core faculty that come from all over the world. And we have a huge number of graduate students. We try to also get in touch with our school, even when they have their diploma. So our mission is to be committed to provide innovative and transdisciplinary education that enables students to become responsible professionals. So you see, even in the mission, we have the question of responsibility, sustainability. And the second aspect is that we want to work in a global business environment. So we are open to have students all over the world, right? Okay. We are actually renewing our MBI accreditation that will take place in September for the DBA. And we wanted to have a joint program of DBA. Why? Because in fact, as Michel has mentioned it, the DBA is very different from the PhD. And the target is to address the audience is students that have a lot of managerial practice, okay? And the research you are going to do is in this context. It means also that it's not because it's a DBA that you will not apply a rigorous academic research. So that means the rigor that is asked for the PhD is going also to be asked for DBA in a different context, with a different target, okay? We wanted to put an emphasis on innovative and creative thinking, which is part of our DNA. That means in what we do, we want also to integrate in our approach different way to see the problems. That is our technology, engineering, so that we give a new aspect to management, and it will give you another competency as regards your DBA. This is delivered online to enable all the manager to continue to work while doing the DBA, and you will benefit from individuals mentoring. So it's very important to know that all through your journey of the DBA, you will have a professor who will tutor your work, give you advice, even if it doesn't mean that because you have one particular privilege, let's say professor, who tutor you, that you could not ask question, advice to all our faculty. Okay?
That's a very important point indeed. We have a very large faculty, and our faculty is always available to answer questions and to support our DBA students. What is the
Then
organization of the program?
the organization, the first stage will be the research skill. So that means we think that you need a certain number of skills to construct and organize your work. Okay, so the first stage will be a set of modules that will help you afterwards to construct, to mature your research question. Okay, you will be asked to have a research question when you do your application, but of course, with the time, this research question is going to be transformed with your knowledge, and this module will help you to precise your research question in the first year, basically. The second stage would be the thesis research and writing under the supervision of an experienced professor. So here you will work, in coordination with your supervisor. Again, it doesn't mean that you could not ask questions to other professor, which could be helpful at one point or for one specific question of your document, right? And the third stage will be the completion of the thesis defense in front of a public and international panel of examiners. Okay?
Yes, at the end of the first phase, you receive the certificate of research in business administration from Business Science Institute. And at the end of phase 3, you receive the DBA from ICN, the DBA from Business Science Institute, and also the DBA from the University of Lyon, which is our partner. An important point is the faculty.
Okay, I would present the one of ICN. Okay. Olivier Bertot, who is on the German campus Berlin. Okay. Who is specialized in organization behavior. Rebecca Stekolorum, which is French and is specialized in supply chain, innovation, etc. Kamel Misri, who is Tunisian, is a specialist in leadership. Philip Kitchen is English, British, I should say, and is specialized in marketing. And René Nicolas, who is French, but has worked in a lot of countries. And his specialization is in human resources.
And we have on our side, as I said, more than 150 faculty, and some of them will be teaching in the program, but you can connect to all our faculty, and all the faculty can be your supervisor. For example, here on the screen, you have a professor from HEC Paris, François Chevalier. You have a professor from École Polytechnique and University of Geneva, Professor Pierre-Jean Bengozi, and so on. It's one of our characteristics because we are a network and the program is based on an exceptional network of faculty. We will be able to find any a supervisor for you for any question. The question could be in sustainability in finance, sustainability in development. It could be sustainability in human resource management. We have the exceptional resources, faculty resources of our network.
So, as I said in the first part, the first stage of your program, you will have a set of module that refers to methodology, research methodology, which are basically very useful to treat your data and do your research analysis. And you will have more specialized module, module 2 and 3, on which you will have different approach on all the important questions that you could have in management. For example, Kamel will talk about driving sustainable strategic leadership. You will have Philip who will talk about marketing practice, Tristan, green and sustainable finance, Rebecca will talk about supply chain, Nicolas on human resource management, and Olivier on sustainable behavior in business. Some of you could think, oh, I'm not very interested in all topics because you will have a specialized research question, of course. But in some of your question could have different aspects, and it's good to have an idea of the globality of your research question than to be only focuses on one part of the question. That way we try to give you more information we can so that you can justify why your topic is interesting, what this multifaceted question could be of interest for the future.
Yeah. That's a specialized module number 2 and number 3. Before that, you will have module 1, which is dedicated mainly to the way you have to manage a DBA thesis. It's not a specialized module, but it's a knowledge that we need to manage, that you need to manage a thesis. And as Professor Paulet said before, on module 4 and module 5, it will be mainly dedicated to methodology, what we call quantitative methodology and qualitative methodology.
So if you are interested in our program, we will be happy to answer all the questions you could have. You could submit a survey to or to ICN or to Business Science Institute, and we will answer you as soon as possible on the eligibility of your CV. Please mention in your CV your current position, the number of year of experience you could have, and the highest and most recent qualification. It would be enough to give you an answer on the eligibility. Okay?
All our process is online. And when your application is ready, you will have somebody who will help you to prepare this application. And when your application is ready, you have an interview with one member or two members of our faculty.
when it will come to prepare your research question, be free also to ask advice if you need to, so that we can help you as much as we can to construct this research proposal if you need some advice or some recommendation.
This point is important because in the application, we ask you what will be your thesis, your topic, the main topic of your thesis, and you have to write a few pages paper on the future topic of your thesis. And we are available, of course, to help you in this process. And we will organize very soon a webinar dedicated to the application process to help you and to give you advice if you want. Uh, Maybe, Professor Paulet, we can specify how it will be organized. We said that it will be online. It's online because we have students from all over the world who join us. So can you say some word about that?
Okay, as I said, you will have a module online. That means all the session will be organized online for that, and on a period where normally it's easy for you to organize yourself to follow the session. But we will record the session. That means in the case you have difficulty or a meeting is organized and you are not capable of attending the session, you will have access to the recording of the session. Okay, will help you not to miss the session. And in plus, because sometimes a session that is recorded is not the same that if you have the opportunity to follow it from, directly during the period of the session, be free also to contact the professor to ask additional question if needed, right? So everything is organized so that you have the facility to follow your session. And in case it is not possible, you have also other solution to follow the session. So we do our best knowing that all of you are manager and could have some time difficulty to be effectively on. Okay?
An important point also that we can mention is that after each session, the participant, they have the opportunity to contact our faculty and to ask a question, specification, either by email, or you can also ask to our support team, Zoom meeting with us, of course, but also with our faculty. We do that because we know that the key success factor of a DBA program is the follow-up, the supervision, and the availability of the support team and of the support faculty. And an important point in our program and in this group is the fact that for us the DBA is of course a degree, but it's more than a degree because you are manager, because the topic of your research will be strongly related to your experience, because your research will be deeply connected to practice. After the defense of your thesis, you will have an impact. It means that the DBA has an impact on you personally, of course, has an impact on companies, your companies, and more globally because you work on sustainable topics, and impact on society. We just finished a survey on roughly 80 alumni, by interview, face-to-face interview. And we will publish in September a book in English and also in French about the experience of our alumni in terms of impact. And really, for those who are interested by the DBA, we strongly advise you to have a look on this book because it will convince you that a DBA and specifically a DBA in sustainable innovation management is more than a degree. It's a way to create impact on you, on company and society. That's why we also created a prize and an annual DBA managerial impact prize. And every year's one or two and sometimes three of our doctors, they receive this prize. And for them, we organize video on different channels and they can communicate. And this video, of course, they are on YouTube and they are available on our website.
Okay, if you have any question, we will
yes,
be happy to answer your question.
of course. Another characteristic of the program is that our faculty is working on books and we publish books to clarify what we expect. Professor Paulet contributed to our recent book on the research in sustainability. And we have a book on the DBA project thesis, how to manage a project of the thesis. We have a book on the research methodology. We have a book on qualitative research. We have also a book on how you will deal with your data. If you organize a survey, how you will manage your survey. And we have a book which is quite unique. It's Our Doctor. They publish a book giving our doctoral students some advice based on their experience. And that's very, very, very useful. And we have also new books on epistemology and the concept in the field of research. So that's some of the books published in English. And of course, all these books are available for our students. You receive, depending where you are, you receive either electronic version, either paper version of this book. But and we are the only DBA in the world, as far as we know, with such a collection of books. But our doctor, they also publish books after their defense because we consider that when the doctor publishes books, they create impact, of course, because it's a way to disseminate the knowledge all over the world. All these books are available on Amazon and other network. And you have here some example. The last book published is leadership of digital transformation. It's a very important topic, of course, and we have also a book on public-private partnership, hospital management, and so on. We can consider that the DBA is a journey. It's a journey. You begin on the left side from your practice, and you will become a manager researcher, able to create knowledge and to generate impact. And how do we manage that? Because we have a strong rate of success. How do we manage that? We manage that through the 5 modules that Professor Paulet presented. But maybe more important is the follow-up.
Yeah.
During all the process, you have a follow-up of the faculty and feedback. Professor Paulet, you want to add something on that?
Yes, I think it's very important to realize that all through your journey, your research is going to be transformed, evaluated, etc. And at each stage of this process, you need people who give you feedback. So that's why we organize this follow-up to give you an idea of at which stage of your DBA you are, what you have already reached, and what you need to do to go up to the end. And it will oblige you also to write uh, the research topic, your empirical analysis, your results, and we will read what you have done and we'll have a look, a critical look, so that you progress. And in fact, it's a key of the success. That means at each stage, sorry, you will have your own work plus somebody who agreed to read, to comment, to analyze what you have done. And it will enable you to progress and to have new ideas also. And of course, in the follow-up, you will not only have your supervisor, in fact, you will not have your supervisor. These are professors who know the subject and can comment your work. So it gives you another way to think your problem. And sometimes it's extremely useful to progress, to go further of what you expect to have. And it is how you can create new knowledge, something that somebody has not done. And all this stage will help you. So that's why the DBA is very different from a PhD. In a PhD, you can be unsuccessful and not reach the defense. And in the DBA, it's extremely rare that you are in such a situation. You will go up to the end. That is the defense.
Yeah.
With all this process, you have all through the program.
Yeah, that's very important because that's difficult to make understand that in a DBA, the relationship between the faculty and the students are the most important issue during all the program, and that's the key success factor of our DBA program. And we present rapidly the program. Of course, you can go on our website to have more information. Maybe we can take some question that we receive. We receive a first question about tools available during the preparation of the thesis. Any tools for bibliography? Any tools for analysis of the data?
We have a platform, in ICN, where you can have access online to the different programs that will help you to do your data analysis and also to our library. I think it's the same from the Business Science Institute. So
Yeah.
that means you will have a huge number of bibliography available. You will have programs to do your data analysis. So you will not miss anything to do a quality document. That's for sure.
Yeah, you will have, as Professor Paulet said, software to analyze your data, software also to check anti-plagiarism, plagiarism, and so on. So you have all the tools available online and also all our book available online. I have another question. Another question arrive. It's about the decision concerning the supervisor. Who takes and when and who takes the decision concerning the supervisor?
So it depends. I mean, sometimes you have students who already contact professor and want to work with a certain professor, and they have worked on the research question on one professor. And if they ask us, I wanted to work with this professor, of course they could do it. But it's not compulsory. I mean, you could have a research question, do your interview after you downloaded your application, take the benefits to work on the module for certain times, and after uh, ask us for supervision. Okay, so every situation is possible depending on the maturity of the research question, your autonomy to work, etc., etc. So we are very open during the first year, but at least at the end of the module, we will give you an official supervisor so that it's more easy for you to do the certificate and to work directly with your supervisor.
I have another question about the length of the program. The AMBA accredited program are on 4 years, but in practice, the average length, excuse me, is 3.5 years, and our politic is to make the defense available when it is ready, when the supervisor consider that the thesis is ready, when the reviewer consider that the thesis is ready, and so on. I have a question about the defense. Generally, we organize every year a huge events in Europe, a huge events, an international week, and during this international week, there are the presentation of the Certificate of Research in Business Administration. There are also the defenses of the thesis and the graduation ceremony. When it's not possible for our students to come, for example, this year, unfortunately, some Chinese students, because of problem of visa, they cannot come. We will organize a defense online. So the length is generally three to 4 years, and there is this international week. It is the last question. Do we have another question? I check the list of the question which arrive. No, it's mainly we answer, I think, to all the question, and you must quote, you will receive after the webinar, you will receive this PowerPoint presentation with the video, with the address of the Business Science Institute website, the address of the ICN website, and you have also a person who is dedicated to the contact to answer your question very rapidly, and you have here it's her email. Uh, any other point, Professor Paulet?
No, I think for the moment it's fine, but don't hesitate to contact us if you need additional information, and we will receive a quick answer so that you can apply also rapidly if you wish.
Yeah. Oh, I have a last question that just arrived about when the program will begin. What is the date? What is the date of the beginning of the program?
October 19, if I remember well.
Frédéric, is it?
Yes, it's 19, Frederic, no?
We will put the date of the beginning
18,
of the
18,
program.
18 of October.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, so
So
18
Wednesday.
October. So it means that you have a few weeks to prepare your application and contact us, but you have to do it quickly because the number of place of rooms is limited. In a DBA program, we have always small group of students, of participants to manage very efficiently the interactivity, the responsiveness of our supervision team. Okay, thank you very much for joining today. Good evening for those who are in China, in India, in Middle East. Good afternoon for those who are in Europe, and good morning for those who connect from Canada, United States, and South America. Bye bye, everybody, and thank you for coming today. You will receive the PowerPoint and the recording of this webinar. Bye bye, and thank you, Hugo.
Bye.
Thank you, Frederic.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Thank you, Professor Paulet.